Welcome back to the final session of Chanmas. I actually can't believe that we're here. I feel like those 12 trainings went by so quickly, and this is the final training, if you will, where everyone who opted into the 12 Days of Chanmas, I realized it was like this live promotion and everyone gets access to these trainings, but there were people who opted in to learn from these trainings, and those people had the opportunity to submit, I don't know what's happening to my hair, but those people had the opportunity to submit questions, and I have a lot of good questions. I've narrowed them down to just, I think there's like 6 of them, and then I also am gonna I combined a couple questions because there were some common themes. So I want to make sure that all of these questions that got asked, I know that they're going to be applicable to you and your business and your brand. So lean in, sit back, grab your coffee. I'm still drinking coffee, not the same one that I was this morning, but also just a reminder, the 2025 Exposed Masterclass. That is my masterclass that I'm hosting to talk about basically my 2025, which if you're questioning like, why would I want to listen to what your year was about? I'm going to be doing this. A lot of business mentors and business owners do training based on the year that they had. It's like a common theme in our industry, but I'm going to do mine totally different, where most people talk about their highlight reel. Like I could sit here and I could tell you I went all in on my business and I created a 6-figure revenue year. I could tell you that, which I probably will, but I'm not going to focus so much on the highlight reel. I'm going to focus on like, I had my most successful year in business while also navigating one of the most challenging personal years of my life. And I also faced some things in my business that stretched me and pushed me to my edge and changed my leadership forever. Those are the things I'm going to talk about. And a lot of these things I don't even post publicly because it's a lot. And so I am going to be sharing all of that in the 2025 Exposed Masterclass. And my goal for you coming to this class is that you walk away having heard one thing, if not many things, that will change your 2026, that will change your entire year moving ahead in the best way possible. Because I think sometimes we hear so much about the milestones, the achievements, the look at me, and I want to do it differently. I want to show you the dirt. I want to show you like, this is the year where I stopped caring about how many likes I'm getting on my content. And this is the year where I became unaffected by how many people enrolled in my courses. Like boo freaking who that you got 5 people in your free masterclass and 4 of them are already paid clients. Like that was the least of my worries this year. So 2025 Exposed Masterclass is happening a week from today. And you can get a free seat to that masterclass if you share one of the 12 Days of Chanmas. If you share it to your stories and you tag me, we will give you a promo code to save your free seat to that masterclass. Otherwise, it's a paid masterclass. It's $11, so it's not like a big deal. But if you want a free seat to that masterclass, you do not want to miss it. I'm going to be giving away so much good stuff. And it's going to be one of those things where it just kicks off your year really strong. Whew. Okay. I loved these 12 trainings, by the way. Like I just did a podcast episode and I kicked it off with talking about the 12 Days of Chanmas and how I've really like thoroughly enjoyed these trainings and showing up for you guys and just giving it all away inside of the Takeover Mastermind, which is my signature mastermind space. The theme for December, which we do challenges every single month inside of that space, but the theme was Devoted December, with the idea that we're all going to get back to our content being super valuable, like just giving it all away in your content. Because honestly, like I've had women say this to me before in my world where they fear giving it all away in their content, because at that point, why would someone hire them? I have so much to say on that topic. I don't want to take up too much time with this, but that fear is actually an invitation for you to give more away. It's impossible for you to give it all away. Also, by the time that I've hosted these trainings and I've quote unquote given it all away, I'm 100 steps ahead. I'm already better than I was before. And that's the mindset. So, okay, let's get into some of these questions. The first question is, why does it feel like I'm doing all the right things, but my business still isn't moving the way that I want it to. This is such a common feeling, like why you feel like you're doing all the right things. You feel like you're checking the boxes, you're posting the content, you have a couple clients, but at the same time, you haven't had like this big bang of like you're watching other people have these huge launches and you're watching these other people post about their high cash months. And you're over here like, when's that going to happen for me? The first thing that I want to remind you of is watching other people's success and unintentionally comparing yourself to them. Like you're probably not even thinking that you're doing that. You're like, I don't compare myself. Like that was me, by the way. You are comparing yourself and you have no idea what those people did to get to where they are. So keep that in mind. But number two, you also have no idea if what people are sharing is the actual truth. So I want you to lead with staying in your lane when it comes to your business. Now, when you say you're doing all the right things, this is where if you were in my world and if you said that to me, I would ask you to define what doing all the right things means, because in my opinion, this is something that I teach to all of my clients, but there's a vital few. There's like a vital few things that if you, let's say you're, I don't know, going through a hard time personally, and it's like, okay, I have to do the bare minimum today. There's like an hour to 2 hours of work that I would say if you did those things every single day, you won't feel this way anymore. Like you won't feel like your business isn't moving forward. So I would ask you what those things are that you're doing. And then I would also tell you, like, stop looking at other people's success and allowing it to mean something about your quote unquote lack of success. I also think that sometimes we expect business to be so linear. We expect like these big events to happen and then you finally feel like you've arrived at success. And I'm here to tell you it doesn't work that way. It is sometimes a slow burn. And it's like the more that you can lean into that, the more that you can accept that and have this long-term vision about the slow burn and knowing that every single thing that you're doing is actually planting seeds, the more that you're going to succeed in the long run. I also would ask you, so this is where I feel like Q&A sometimes for me is very difficult or challenging because I'm very much an interactive coach. Like I like to ask questions. I like to get into your mind and into your heart and understand. Like seeking to understand is something that I do in every aspect of my life. I'm very much a curious being. So when you say your business isn't moving the way that you want, I would also ask you to define like, what is it that you're expecting? Like, what is it that you want? And I can guarantee that you don't have a crystal clear answer to that. So that's the next step, is getting very clear on what it is that you want. And this is not just, well, I want 10K consistent months or I want a 6-figure year. That's where you can start there. But why do you want that? Like, what does that mean for you? And I know that that's cliche and I know that you've heard that before, but it's important. Like, what are 10K months going to do for you? And if we take it a step further, if you are making $10,000 in your business every single month, what does that look like? Like, do you have a ton of clients? Are they paying low ticket? Do you only have a select few of clients and they pay high ticket? What are those clients act like? What is their behavior? How do you interact with them? Like, all of these things, get crystal clear on what you want, and I can guarantee you won't be asking that question any longer. Okay, that is question 1. Question 2 is a funny question to me, which won't be funny to you. How do I make money in my business without being on social media 24/7 or constantly selling? I don't think I'm laughing at that question because we've all been in a chapter of business where we question that. I am just going to I'm going to shoot it straight. Like, in the beginning, when you are building your business, I believe you have to go all in. And sometimes that does look like working longer hours than you ever imagined. I work my ass off. Like, I am working on the weekends. I am up early in the morning. I am staying up late. And the thing is like, I just don't feel like I'm actually working because I love what I do. And I feel like I used to listen to people say that and I'd be like, no, like, that's not true. But it is true. When you really find, hi, oh my gosh, I love you so much, I miss you. When you really find something that you are so passionate about and you feel like you could, I think I think teaching is one of the key things that I've learned. Like when you can find something that you love to teach and you also could spend all day studying, and then you can like turn it around and give it to people and package it up. It's like, that is, yay, love you. That is like, hi, Janu. That's like the thing where it's like, you don't actually feel like you're working. So I want to be cautious of answering this question because I also just took like 10 days completely off in my business, like completely, like 10 days. I was in New York with my in-laws, and I would like go check Telegram and check in on my clients that are already in my world. But like, I didn't really post to my feed. I didn't sell anything in my stories. I didn't send a single email, yet I still made multiple 5 figures this month. And so I think it's like, I earned my stripes to get to this point though. So it's like, I know exactly what I need to do in order to set up my business so that I can take time off. But I will say, like, even though I took 10 days off, I felt guilty as hell. Like that, the pressure of being a business owner, I don't think that ever goes away. At least I haven't experienced that yet. Again, I'm not super, like, I haven't been into this for years yet, so stay tuned. But I will say, like, I still felt like, geez, I need to show up. Like, I felt a little bit of anxiety around that, but at the same time, I'm like, I don't even feel like anyone's paying attention to social media, let alone I don't want to buy from anyone right now, so I don't feel like anyone else wants to buy. And I take that human approach. So to answer the question, how do you make money in your business without being on social media 24/7 or constantly selling? I don't know. I feel like if that's the question you're asking, you haven't found something that you love yet. I also am not on social media 24/7. Like one thing that I've really gotten good at is and I think there's a question on this later on, but like, oh yeah, there is. I don't consume other people's content, like hardly ever. I have a select few, but we'll get to that in a minute. Okay, next question. What am I missing that other women in business seem to have figured out already? What am I missing that other women, I didn't like prepare for these questions, so I want you to know this is like pure riffing, but this is one of my favorite things. And this is why I love hot seat coaching with like my one-on-one clients and even my mastermind. Like I love questions. I love having these conversations. So the question is, what am I missing that other women seem to have figured out already? That's impossible for me to answer without speaking with you, I feel like. But if I were to give a blanket answer and coach you through that question, I would ask you, like, there's something that you know that you're missing, and it's probably not a strategy. It's probably not like a list of things to do. It's probably the fact that you're asking this question, that you think that you innately are missing something, when I would challenge you to like reframe this question. And instead of asking, what am I missing? Ask yourself, like, who do I need to become? So again, we get back to the idea of what do you want? Like getting crystal clear on what do you want? Like, what do those results look like? And then if you say to yourself, okay, I'm currently making like $2,000 per month in my business, and I would love to bring that up to $10,000 a month bare minimum, I would sit there and I would ask you, what type of woman do you have to become? Do you have to stretch yourself? Like, what version of you makes that amount of money? And how does she differ from who you are right now? And that's like probably what you're missing, versus I get this question all the time with new clients. It's interesting because like eventually no one asks me this question, because I don't think there's no shortage of strategy in my world. Like you guys just witnessed 12 days of trainings. That's the bare freaking minimum. I am strategy heavy. Like I love feeling crystal clear on a plan, but it's important to know that like just having that plan, and I said this earlier today, just having the plan and having all the things in place, that's like 10% of this battle. The 90% that you are missing is the fact that you think that there's something missing, and there probably is, but it's not part of the strategy. It's whatever's in your heart. It's whatever the inner work is needing from you that you have yet to dive into. So I think that is probably how I would answer that. But I would love to have a conversation with this woman because I would also want to ask you, like, what women are you watching that you think have it all figured out? And I would love for you to write out the definition of figured it out already? Like, what does that look like that you're witnessing and you're assigning a story in your mind of like, well, they have it all figured out and I'm missing something. What does that even mean? And so that's where this turns into a really deep conversation where I would definitely hold up a mirror to you and I would say, you're watching someone over here and you think they have it all figured out. Why? Why do you think that? Okay, they're making more money than you. Great. What do you think they had to do that you're not doing? And that's the conversation here. So that's question number 3. Okay. Next question. What should I actually be focusing on right now to grow and scale my business? So I'm speaking to the women who, like you're a coach, you are a mentor, you have an online business, you are a thought leader, you want to have clients that you facilitate transformation for them regardless of the niche. Maybe you want to speak on stages, maybe you don't, that's okay too. You want to create offers, you want to build out this super sustainable, massive empire online. Like that's who you want to be and you want to make a lot of money from this business. That's who I'm speaking to in this moment. I don't know how to speak to anyone else. So that's what I'm doing in my business. That's what people are doing in my world. I'm going to tell you exactly what you should be focusing on. First and foremost, you should be focused on transforming yourself. Like that's number 1. And I think what that looks like is a lot of introspection, a lot of being curious about who you actually are and what your core values are and what your priorities are, and aligning yourself to like who you actually want to be. That's number 1. And there's a lot of things that go into that. Like there's a lot of ways to do that. Number 2, content. Like that's what I stand for. Like if you don't create good content, you are not going to have a big business, period. And content it's everywhere. So it's like, I don't care if you don't post, if Instagram is not your hub, maybe you post YouTube videos, maybe you are on TikTok. Like it doesn't matter where you're at, your content is going to determine your income. Your content is going to determine your success. Everything comes back to your content. Even your paying clients that hire you, they want to see you show up in your content as like a leader, as someone who's going somewhere. And so that's why content to me is like the number 1 thing you should be focusing on. And that's not just messaging. Messaging is a huge portion of that. But I also think there's like this, and we were just talking about this in my mastermind the other day, there's this huge opportunity right now with AI coming into the game. Actually, it's not coming in, it's in the game. And also a lot of people, like the online business space is growing so rapidly. So there's a huge opportunity to stand out. And one thing that I think a lot of people think about with AI coming in or like this industry booming is they think they missed their mark. Like I missed it, I'm too late. And I would argue that to the day that I die. And I would say, if you were to take the elevated woman approach, which is one of my philosophies and theories, the elevated woman would actually look at that and she would think to herself, there's a lot of people coming in and AI is also coming in. That means this is in demand. It is my time to shine. And what do you need to do that? And content is the way. Like, so everything's on social media. So it's not about performing. It's not about being anyone but yourself. That's why the first step to this is doing the introspection, the inner work, and then applying that into your content. And I created an entire content membership around this. It's literally called The Evolution, because I believe the women in business right now that are leading from personal brand, that are actually connecting with their people through their own wisdom, through their own experiences, and being fully authentic and embodied in who they are, those are the women that are going to succeed. So content is what you should be focusing on to grow your business. And then the third piece to this is if and when, maybe you already have clients, but when clients come into your world, it is your responsibility to serve them. Like I feel like we all think that we need a ton of new leads. We think we need a ton of new clients. We think we need a ton of new customers in order to have this booming business. And I would argue that you could build a massive empire on not a ton of clients and be so happy. But you have to serve the people that are in front of you. And the paying clients in my world, like I go above and beyond for my clients because that's just who I am as a coach. And I also believe fully in client experience. Now, I also have boundaries. So that's another thing that we would talk about eventually if you came into my world. But focusing on your paying clients and making sure that they're taken care of and they have a good experience when they're with you, that's the next thing that I would focus on. Okay, I think that answers that question. So this next question is what I kind of already touched on. And it says, I need to stop consuming so much content and I need to just start executing. I'm assuming that this is like a beginner person. So I have like a good mix of people in my world where women come in and they're like in the beginning stages of their business. And then I have some women who come in, they've been doing this for years and they're making upwards of $500,000 a year. So I'm assuming that this question is coming from someone who's just starting out. However, this could be a behavior and a habit for someone who is also farther along. It doesn't matter. That's beside the point. The question is, I need to stop consuming content. I need to start executing. So how do you do that? First and foremost, the best thing that I ever did was unfollow people that with no personal like tie to this. Like it's not personal. It's not that I dislike these people. But I unfollowed people that bring nothing to my table. And I also look at my social media from a business standpoint. Like I'm not on social media for any other reason but to build my business. I'm not like here to collect likes from the people I went to high school with. Like that's just not, I don't care to like keep up on the latest drama with other people. I don't care. It's like, I don't have time. I don't have space. I don't have energy to do all of that. So I unfollowed people that don't bring anything to the table for me. And again, it's not like a personal thing. It's just like, I have to declutter what's going on my feed. Then the people who I'm like, well, I want to still follow them. Like I might want to check in every now and then. Like I enjoy this person. If they're not creating feed or content consistently that adds to my life, I will mute them. That's a beautiful feature that Instagram came out with, is like, I will mute their stories. I will mute their posts. I will mute their whatever. And I mute them. So they're still a part of my community, but I don't see their stuff consistently. So that's the second thing. And then the third thing is like, I think I just got to this point where I love social media, but I love creating content. I don't love consuming content because I know how it makes me like feel to consume content that is just like blah. So I open up my app to work. I rarely open up this app to scroll. Sometimes I'm in the mood where it's like, I feel like Instagram Reels can be hilarious. Like if I want to laugh, I know to like go to like Instagram Reels. And if I have like, I don't know, like a sister algorithm or marriage algorithm, like that shit is funny. So sometimes I will consume that, but that's not people that I know. I know for a fact that I have things I need to get done in my business and in my day. And if I take time to scroll, if I take time to consume, I'm not going to get those things done. And so if I lack the execution in my day, I feel miserable. Like I don't like myself. And that's how I operate my entire life. Like even like working out or eating healthy, I don't like feeling disappointed in myself. And so I make sure that I do things where I don't feel disappointed in myself. And so when it comes to consuming content for you, whoever asked this question, this is a discipline thing. Like you just have to develop discipline around this. And maybe you allow yourself to consume on Friday nights or something like that. And you set like a timer, like whatever you got to do, get it done. Okay. Couple more. How do I become well known for what I do instead of feeling invisible? How do I become well known for what I do instead of feeling invisible? So I would definitely suggest that you go watch I think it's day 10 yesterday, when I talked about the $10,000 per month, business model. I would definitely go review that training because that's where I talked about becoming well known for one solution to one specific problem. And I think sometimes we overthink this, where we think we need to throw the kitchen sink at people. We need to create this offer that has everything and it teaches everything and it blows people's minds. And that's where I would say, take a step back and focus on one micro solution and then go deep into it. So for example, I always talk about this program because it was one of my favorites to lead, but it was also one of my most successful programs. And it was called Made You Look. And the only thing we did inside of this program was I coached them through creating Instagram Reels. I created an entire program. It was 5 weeks long, and I created themes for these Reels. I coached on the depth of what social media means to me, and I coached on the technicality of creating these Reels. I didn't create an entire program on content. Like, that's not what I did. I went deep into Reels. I also have another program that was called Carousel Camp, and that was just carousels. So I went through an entire framework of carousels with some prompts, very specific. I also had another program on Instagram stories and selling from your stories. So you see here how it's like very specific. Now, I'm not telling you to go create all these different programs within your niche. I'm telling you create one program and run this program 4 times in 2026. 4 times every quarter. So every 3 months you host this program, you will become so well known for not just the program, but the solution that you provide to the problem. You'll be unrecognizable by the end of next year, truly, if that's the process that you follow. And then you refine that program every single quarter that you run it. And you just get better and better and better and better and better. And you create your content around all of that. It's not easy, but it's so simple. Great examples. I've been indulging way too much on content to help distract me from my current reality. Yeah. So understand that. Okay. So that's how you're going to become well known. And then I also think another key part to this is separate from the offers that you create, separate from like the business that you build when you show up online, when you create content, it's really important to be repetitive. And this is a skill. This is not something that comes easy to people because we have this natural we have this like story that we tell ourselves that everyone is seeing everything that we post. And if I talked about that last week, I can't talk about it again this week because I need to stay fresh in order to stay relevant. That is a myth. That is a self-limiting belief. Your ability to be repetitive in the same message from different angles over and over and over again, that's going to get you well known for this one thing that you want to talk about. And I don't care what this one thing is. Maybe it's like weight loss for vegans, or maybe it's hair growth. Like, honestly, it doesn't matter what the topic is. Your ability to repeat the same message inside of that niche, inside of that topic for months at a time, and then consistently stay creative in the way that you're creating content, you're going to become well known. You will be a thought leader in your space. You won't even have to think about it. People will know your name and they will know they're going to you for X, Y, and Z. That answers that question. I'm going to answer one more. So I'm going to decide between the last question is, what does aligned success actually look like in real life and not just on Instagram? What does aligned success? I think this question is very interesting. And I also think that it depends on who you ask. Like aligned success, there's no definition for that. So I think it's like per person, like who you ask, it's going to differ. But I can only answer that for myself. And I would say like aligned success is not what something looks like. It's what something feels like. And that feeling would be me feeling proud. Like, that is success to me, is if I feel proud of what I'm doing, who I'm becoming, what I'm building, and my reputation. If I feel proud of all of those things, I'm successful. And I have this, especially after the year I just had, but even before then, I have this very firm belief that if I stick to that mission of feeling proud and having integrity with everything that I do and staying on mission in my work, that there's a natural byproduct of that where money just flows in. And it's been proven in my life, and it's been proven in my clients, that this is a game of how do I want to say this? This is a game of like, who do you want to be while you wait on the result? Like, that's it. Who do you want to be while you wait on the result that you desire? And it's not even, again, that's like a loose statement. It's not about waiting around, because the person that you be, the person that you're becoming, she's not waiting. She's definitely taking action. She's a beast. She has this unstoppable mindset. She's loving. She's compassionate. She's wicked smart. She's a forever learner. She's super curious. She doesn't wait on anyone else. Like all these different characteristics, that is what aligned success looks like to me. Now, I have money goals, like I have monetary goals of where I want to be when it comes to revenue and all of those things. But when I think about those numbers, like in 2026, my revenue goal is $500,000 in my business. When I think about that number, I innately know in my heart who I have to become to get there. And it's not who I am in this moment talking to you right now. Like it's a totally different version of me. And I'm willing and ready to mold myself and evolve into that girl. And that is what success means to me. I don't see the money as my North Star. I see the evolution of who I have to become to get that money as my North Star. And that's what I go after. So that's success in real life. And then on Instagram, it depends on who you're following, but like maybe they talk about that, maybe they don't. My plan is to definitely talk about that. Like my goal is always to be the most real, raw, authentic version of myself. And so, yeah. A lot of good questions, like a lot of good questions. And maybe one day I'll come back and like revisit some of these questions because I think that they're super helpful. But yeah, that's a wrap on the 12 days of Chanmas, you guys. That was crazy. That was so much fun. Thank you so much for participating in the challenge. If you shared to your stories, you should be getting a free seat to the upcoming masterclass where we're going to go even deeper on all the good stuff. So if you haven't entered the challenge yet, go ahead and share one of these to your stories. Jasmine, thank you so much for being here. Share one of these to your stories and tag me, and we will send you the free promo code to get into that masterclass next week. It's happening live. And then, of course, you'll get the replay if you can't attend live. But man, what a freaking year. I love you guys so much. I hope you have an amazing New Year's Eve. Stay safe. And I am getting ready to leave and go to my 90-minute massage to just embrace the new year energy. I love you so much. Yeah, I got nothing else. Mwah. Have a great night.